Well, I'm delighted to say we are joined now by Henry Winkler, as you can see, former The Fonz as well. Henry, thank you so much for coming in to see us. First of all, just tell us why you're in the country.
I'm in the country. My main objective is to meet every child in the United Kingdom and let them know that no matter how they learn, it has nothing to do with how brilliant they are.
And you've been all over, haven't you? Because today you were in Ipswich and Downham Market as well. You're going to be in Cambridge tomorrow. Let's just, before we talk a bit more about this, let's just see you in action in Ipswich. I think we've got some shots of you now.
English was hard, math was hard, history was hard, spelling is out of the question. Science was hard. I was great at lunch.
It looks brilliant, Henry. Just tell us exactly what's going on.
Well, you know what?
there.
I was also great at recess. I was splendid when it was time to leave the classroom.
And when you're talking to them, of course, you're all talking about learning disabilities and
Yes.
trying to raise awareness, but specifically dyslexia. Is that
Well, you know what? Whatever the learning challenge is, 1 out of 5 has some sort of learning challenge. And you know that 53% of all inmates incarcerated in prison are dyslexic. That's an amazing number.
And
Now,
what made you want to come to this country to bring your programme over here?
You know what? It was not a plan. It just happened. I was invited by First News to travel around all of United Kingdom, all the way from Ireland to Taunton. And we go to the different schools, about 2 a day, and we talk to the kids. Nikki Cox, who is the editor and publisher of First News, talks about reporting. And I talk about my novels and about my journey from being told that I would never achieve to standing in front of them, having written with my partner 23 novels for kids.
Can I just ask one question as well?
Yes.
We could just take you back to that bit there where you said you were told you would never achieve. How
Yes.
did you go from there to achieving what you have done? Do
Do you know what you realize in your life is that you have a tremendous amount of power inside you. We are so used to, as human beings, second-guessing ourselves, saying, oh, you know what, I can't do that. I'd love to do that, but you know what, I really shouldn't. I really can't. I wouldn't even try. And what I have found is if you have something in your imagination, 99% of the time, you don't ever let go of your dream. You can walk right toward it and then enjoy it. And I'm living proof. I believed, because you know, you tell a kid early enough, often enough, that they are never going to achieve, that they're stupid, that they're lazy, they're not living up to their potential, you start to believe it. And then you spend a lifetime getting rid of that garbage and just being who you are.
Which is so true. And what are the effects? Because, of course, you've done this many times. You've been here 8 times, I think it is,
Yes.
on this kind of a tour, visiting schools.
Yes.
What kind of effect are you seeing when you see the kids and you tell them this stuff? Are you know, what kind of results are you seeing?
Let me just say, first of all, it might now be one of the greatest things I've ever done outside of my own family, outside of my own children who are rude. It might be the greatest thing I have ever done.
Really?
Honestly. And what you see is, even if you see it in one child, in the beginning, when I first asked, do you have, anybody have a problem in school? 1 or 2 kids raise their hand. By the time I'm finished with my story, everybody wants to be dyslexic. The entire room puts up their hand. They feel empowered.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it might be the greatest thing, the greatest feeling in the world to see that. And then have a room of 600 kids want to hug you.
Yeah, it must be amazing. And where do you see it going, Henry? You talked about the fact that you can achieve anything you really want if you set your heart on it.
Right.
Where would you like to see this really go?
You know where I'd like to see it? I'd like to see that we celebrate the top 10% of the class. We celebrate those kids that are really good at school. And then we don't really celebrate the bottom 10%. You know, the kids who don't get A's, but they're great with their bodies. They're great with their eye. They're great plasterers, or they're plumbers, or they're artists of some sort. Why don't we celebrate them? A country needs every citizen functioning on all 8 cylinders in order to succeed. We cannot let children just rain through the cracks.
And in terms of kind of, again, let's talk about you now. I mean, you give now so much.
Do I
so
feel
many,
passionate about this?
You do feel, and it rubs
great.
off, and it rubs off on us, and it rubs off obviously clearly on the children as well. And
I'm thinking, my God, okay, calm down, Henry.
No, this is all
No,
good.
it is all really remarkable, Henry. But you talked about sort of, how much you give.
Yeah.
What about yourself? Do you still have your own aims and ambitions and goals? I mean, we obviously still remember you fondly as the Fonz.
Well,
how could we possibly
I
forget
have
that?
the greatest career.
Yeah.
Now, I was just on Broadway a few months ago. It opened and closed in 7 nights. It was pretty upsetting, but I had the opportunity.
Yeah.
I do 3 television shows. The new movie that I made, Here Comes the Boom, makes me so proud. It's funny, and you cheer, and it's great. And then I get to write my novels with my wonderful partner, Lynn Oliver. Whew, it's fantastic. If you try to hoard all of the goodness that you get out of life, you will implode. We are built as human beings in order, you have to give back. Not to everybody, to one person. You don't have to solve the world's problems. One person. Then that one person feels empowered. They pass it on, and pretty soon we don't have to do a lot of talking.
Well, you've empowered so many people just by being here this evening. Henry Winkler,
Thank you for the
so
opportunity.
much indeed for coming in to see us.
Thank you.
What a pleasure. Thank
So
you.
lovely to meet you.
You too.